Welcome to another edition of Kicking It with the Brothers, summer edition. We are absolutely in the middle of the transfer period. It's our boys. Let's get right to it. Our man Deion, Hill Ford, bottom left. Our man X, and Serginho Charles Little Dest is in the building today. What's good, man?
It's just another day, man. Y'all out here hammering your money and just y'all won't call us broke. It's cool. We broke. It's cool. But at least I didn't spend $83 million on Kai Havertz, boy. I'll give Arteta credit though. He did figure out one thing: the further you get Kai Havertz from the goal, the better.
So you're comfortable with him being in the midfield? No need to.
I mean, I'm comfortable with him being on the bench behind the ball boy, the 13th man. They say he can play a 6. Can he play a 12? Because his ass don't need to be on the field.
When they say he could play the 6, is that the same 6 Gio plays, or he's the 6th man off the bench?
Oh, hilarious times. Well, oh wow, the switch to the kits, fire, so dope. X, are they Charles? You have some questions for us as Arsenal fans, the biggest spenders thus far in the transfer window. A club that is acting like a winning club.
It's just a basic thing. I'm just want to understand if you spend almost $300 million in the transfer window, like what are the expectations for this year? Because I contend that if you guys don't finish better than you finished last season, your manager deserves to get fired. If he doesn't get fired, that just shows that you're a little ass club and y'all ain't serious about y'all.
Okay, do you have a question?
That's such an
that was a question. What are your expectations of next season? What would be given the money you've spent? What would be considered a good season next year?
I will let X start first, please.
I want a good showing in the Champions League, and I want to contend for the title. And I want to win a trophy, at least one. You know what I'm saying? We got to win at least one trophy. Now, that could be the fucking Community Shield. That could be the fucking whatever. I want to win one trophy, and I want to contend for the Prem. And I want a good showing. I want to make it out of the knockout stage in the Champions League. If we do that, I don't understand how you can call us a poverty organization. You know what I'm saying? So
we're far from poverty already.
I mean, bad teams make it to the knockout stage all the time.
Right.
Look, you asking me we ain't been in the Champions League in what? I mean, you could probably 8 years
before your fandom.
Before my fandom, exactly. So
not too much longer than Arteta's tenure. I know that.
Look, man, I had to watch Europa League games this year, and that shit was humbling. You know what I'm saying? There was 17 people in the fucking crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't even. It was like a fucking high school field converted to like a soccer pitch, and it was humiliating. So I'm just glad that, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna get to see Thierry Henry and the rest of the CBS gang. You know, the people that had calling the Europa games, I mean, come on, they were just fucking dog shit, but it was humiliating. So, but look, here's the thing, right? Like I said, it's not about facts. Y'all just want to hate on Arsenal, but you can't hate on anything that they did. We can agree that Kai Havertz is a bump. I'll give you that. But I mean, look, are we better than last season? Undoubtedly, yes. Even you, what? How could you possibly say that?
I mean, you're better than last season, assuming certain players make jumps, which I'm assuming you're already guaranteeing. I don't think Declan's better than Partey.
But we still have Partey.
Yeah, Partey's out of there. And he's not going to start, even if he is. And Declan's not better than him. So if Declan starts and Partey's off the bench, then you're worse.
Yeah, but why wouldn't we run a double pivot with both of them on the field at the same time?
I mean, I guess you could.
Because here's the thing. You're assuming that Havertz is going to start. You may not.
Havertz is
you're assuming.
Havertz is going to start.
You pay once again, you're making my point. You paid 83.
No, we're not. Actually, Charles, you're making my point.
For a squad player?
Charles, you're making my point. Charles, you're making my point.
Oh, Emma, I forgot you were here. What's up?
First year? Yeah, no, please. I'm just going to step in for X here. I'll make the distance before his fandom. 2 years ago, Jack Grealish, the $100 million man, Aston Villa, a squad player at best for City, barely got on the pitch.
Yeah. You're comparing yourself to City now.
I'm telling you, that is how you operate as a business.
He's already talking about the 2025 season.
That is ridiculous.
He's already talking about the 2025
season. No, that's how you took out. You're not listening.
listen, ML, let's just use their own words against them. Throughout the season, I had to hear that because City had 2 full teams, that's the reason why we couldn't compete, because City had 2 teams. Well, how do you get players of quality past your your first 11? You got to pay fucking starting 11 prices for bench plays. That's how you build a fucking roster that deep. So yes, we paid 65 million euros for Havertz. But if he's a bench player, that's that level we got to operate at if we ever hope to compete with City. And especially if we hope to compete in multiple competitions at the same time, we're going to have to pay that type of money for squad players. So I don't know how you're saying that that's disrespectful. It just shows that we're serious about progressing to the next level.
Which squad player did Man City pay $65 million for?
Bro, they just
paid $100 million.
No, they bid $90 million for Rice.
He said
you telling me Rice was going to start over
player.
Rodri? Was Rice going to start over Rodri if they bid?
Yes, he would have started. They would have started together. Yeah.
Yeah, they were going to start together. He was going to take Gundo's spot.
But him and Gundo are different players, though.
But they were going to. It's City. It's Pep. They just move things around. Like the only reason they got it. This is a fact. The only reason they got into the Declan race was because Barcelona took Gundo. That was the only reason.
Also because our manager called their manager and actually put the pressure on. Like they're account.
You think Arteta put the pressure on City so that he had to up his bid?
No, Arteta put the pressure on our ownership because our ownership was playing around and making sure that we had to get to the money. We got to
what does that have to do with City?
City even think about their bid. Their bid wasn't even it literally equaled our.
They weren't going to make a bid if they still had Gundo. That's a fact. They're set. That's why their bid
been gone since February.
Losing Gundo.
Gundo has been gone since February, according to both of you.
That's not officially true.
I heard Shorty say that on TV, and I thought that was asinine.
It's not asinine. This thing happens all the time.
No, but here's the thing, though. If it was really between the two, I think what gave us the edge is that fucking Rice wanted to come to fucking Arsenal, right? And he could come be the captain of Arsenal. He could go be part of the rotation at City. But if he wanted to go to City, bro, City could have paid all that money up front, right? And just on how they structured the deal, they could have beat us at any given time. So even though the money looked the same, it wasn't really the same. And even if you look at the add-ons, if the add-on is to win the Prem, well, who's more likely to win the Prem? Also City. So if City puts ads on based on them winning the Prem, that could be considered a realistic add-on. For us, that's not necessarily a realistic add-on. So even the add-ons would be more in City's favor. So them coming in, and even though the money looks the same, is a much better offer. So I don't think that he was doing us any favors by them coming in and bidding on Rice. So I think that's asinine.
$90 million, literally the same.
So what y'all pretty much said was he could have took y'all girl if he wanted to. Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think
we may be going to take your girl, but I'll chill.
I don't think
City wanted Rice, they would have had Rice.
Yeah, I don't think they wanted Rice as bad as y'all wanted Rice, which I mean, I don't know if that's like the greatest thing to hang your hat on, to be honest. But I mean, like if they wanted Declan, they could have had him. I don't think they valued him the way you guys did. That's why you upped the other bid. That's why you guys had 3 bids before they even got around to putting their first in. You know, it is what it is.
But nothing that you're saying, nothing you're saying is wrong. He meant more to us than he meant to City. That is a 100%.
What's wrong with that, though?
But us,
I didn't say there was. I didn't say there was.
For what we want to do, yes, we had to overpay to show like, hey, we're serious. We're playing with the big boys now. We get that Champions League money coming in, so we got to spend. And what did Charles say? For 2 pods, he said, "Yo, I don't want to hear shit. Spend the money.
Yep.
Spend the money. Spend the money." That's how he ended 2 pods in a row. Spend the money, then get back to me. And now we spent the money. Look at you fucking idiots spending money. I mean, so
wow.
which lets you know that you're not
how many times? Hold
Charles,
on, give me some bail. How many times have I said it has nothing to do with the 134 for Rice? It has everything to do with the 83 for Havertz. It's the only thing I keep fucking saying.
No.
That's when I said y'all tweaking. I never said don't go by Declan.
Now you converting stuff into millions, knowing these people deal with pounds.
Hold on.
But go ahead.
The smooth talker brother and the suit one.
We paid 3.4 billion yen for fucking Kai Havertz. You know, we dropped like, you can convert it to whatever currency you want to convert it to.
It's cool.
It's too much. It don't matter what currency.
Too much. Whatever you want.
Too much. Havertz is not a good player.
We need that.
We are having to overcome the burden of being a poverty franchise for the last 5 years, and so we're gonna have to pay extra. There's a tax for stinking.
Sure. But
You know what I'm saying?
if you start Havertz and Declan, right? Like, let's say you start the two big new signings, which is probably the most likely scenario. I'm not saying that's the one that happens the full year. Maybe you do the double pivots eventually, the same way Pep saves his best lineups for the second half of the season. Maybe y'all do the same. If you start the pit two big new signings, I'd say we're starting 11 than last year.
But again, we don't know. We don't know. We may not pay with a back four. Or what if we put Zinchenko up to play midfield? Because that's essentially what it was for us, right? We don't really want Zinchenko playing fucking left back because he's not a good defender. So what if we put Zinny up there, right? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's worse.
It is. I mean, it is.
Here's the thing. The version of Partey from the first 3 months of the season, yes. The version of Partey that we saw the last 15 games of the season, undoubtedly we're better.
Well,
and that's the thing. He's over 30. He can't stay healthy to begin with. And his play, he went from legit. I remember being on the pod like, yo, Partey is one of the best midfielders in the world. Fuck the Prem. To like, yo, this motherfucker has no legs. He's getting ran by. He's not covering the ground that he used to cover. Well, that's what happens with a fucking midfielder that's on the wrong side of 30, right? So, yes, I agree. But you're assuming that Partey was going to be the same midfielder next year that he was for the first 20-something games of last year. But what if he wasn't? And then there would have been a steep drop-off in fucking
he said the first 20-something games like it's an NBA season, bro. That's most of the damn season.
Yeah, it's over half the year.
But when did we fall apart? The last 10 games.
Well, Havertz.
They're running.
Havertz is better than
Saliba, and Partey was ass. Jorginho was legitimately better than Partey the last 10 games of the season, without question, to the point where Partey got benched in favor of Jorginho. That's a fact. That's not me making shit up.
No, sure. But Havertz is also better than the last 15 games we saw of Saga. Is he going to play over Saga next year?
No, okay. But you know what? We have cover now. We have a guy that can play 4 different positions. Oh, who does that?
Y'all only like facts when it fits a narrative.
No. Havertz can play both.
Arteta's like fucking Thibodeau. He's going to run these motherfuckers' knees into the ground. Saka just didn't have anything left, bro.
Are we sure Declan's going to be able to do any more than Partey was?
Has to, because once again, I don't think our window's not over. That's why I'm not going to give you exactly. I will give you exactly what I think we're going to do come August. No problem. Just like I did last year. I told you I said we finished third. We ended up finished second. But knew we would go into Champions League. We have time still. I'm not even sure we're done with our business because we may be selling Partey and we may be selling Tierney. If we get 60 million more, we're going to go get a very named midfielder. I'm going to chill on that for the moment. We may be going to Spain.
Caicedo.
We may be going to Spain.
For sure, many. We're not getting.
We may be going to Spain. I'm just going to keep it real like that.
I hope y'all get you a many.
Where? Who? You go? Who? Villarreal.
Maybe going to Spain. Just keep your eyes watched.
Brian Gill.
You chill.
That's 3-0 Messi.
Keep your eyes watched.
I would like Lavia, but I don't want Lavia to have to start. You know what I'm saying?
He won't, though.
No, exactly. I wouldn't want him to start. But if we're going to replace Partey with Lavia, well, now we're worse. You know what I'm saying? But if we're rotating Rice and Partey, hey, that's legit. You know what I'm saying? If one of them gets injured, we got Jorginho. We're sold there. Look, we're not better than
Prem, dog.
We're not better than City. We won't say that we are. But we're better and we're deeper. And for a coach that does not like to rotate, because he was having to bring in fucking Reece Nelson off the bench, which I love the guy for that Bournemouth goal. But come on, those guys weren't ready for fucking prime time. Like we were playing Rob Holding. We don't have to do that anymore. Now we've got Timber.
Lawson, you never answered my question. What are your expectations? What is the success?
I told you I'll answer that when the business is done. I've told you that right at this very moment, we have to win a trophy in any of the 4 competitions we're in, minimum. Actually 3. I think it needs to be a trophy in FA, Prem, or Champions League. That's what my expectation is. I'm not gonna shit on the. If I shit on the Carabao Cup when I see United win and when we don't play any of our players, then I have to keep shitting on that. Okay, unless we're up for all 4, because then I want all 4. If we get in the semifinals for all of them, fuck it, win all of them, because that's what Liverpool almost did 2 years ago. Top 4. Minimum every year as long as Arteta's the manager now. That's what it is. We have to treat him like that. That's where I'm at. And
So finishing fourth with a Carabao Cup is a successful season.
No, it's not.
This
No,
dude
I
does
said
something
the
relentless.
Carabao Cup is not what I'm counting. I'm saying the three. It needs to be
Okay.
one of those three.
Okay.
One of those three.
But, I mean, listen, if they're so much better than last year, I don't see how y'all can sit up here because City's obviously worse.
Maybe.
What do you mean, maybe?
Their business isn't done yet.
They're about to go get Gavardio.
Yeah.
At the
they have
moment, they're much.
Gavardio
To be honest, I don't even know if I think Gavardio is better than some of the dudes they have back there. But like, I mean, they're definitely worse right now. Like, it's not even close. And you're sitting up here like, oh, we got better, but
I like
at the same
Kovacic.
time, you don't think you're better than City.
Gundo's better than
the gap-
Kovacic, but they've created depth, though. They've created more depth.
That was Deion.
By going one for one, they've
we weren't
created
neck
depth.
and neck. We weren't neck and neck with City. There was a huge chasm. It's okay, they got worse. And we got better. There's still a chasm.
You guys were
Yeah.
neck and neck until Arteta.
No, we
No.
actually were 11.
We were
points
neck and
ahead
neck until
our
fucking
time.
Saliba broke his fucking back and Rob Holding
Exactly.
was playing center back. And then he had to go against fucking Holland and get embarrassed. in
My
front
bad.
of
I
the
forgot
world.
Arsenal was the only team with injuries last year. I keep forgetting that.
But we,
Okay.
but your man said that we didn't even have injuries, though. Ten Hag, remember that?
Look, you're
remember
here
that?
for
You
the
pod?
guys
jokes.
didn't for a long time. That's the reason you were at first. You did
And
it for
then
a
we
long
had
time.
7 in the
Okay,
last in the running.
Okay.
7 in the running, and we're
I
City
am a
had 0.
hypocrite. Hold on. Let me say real quick. I'm a hypocrite. Early last year, I came on here and I clowned the former Spurs coach for only having one way of playing, right? And I clowned him. Guess what? Arteta has Arteta ball. And when our center backs and when our full backs are not able to progress the ball, we were fucked. And when we can't dominate possession, we're not good enough athletically to fucking break through and make plays. We just weren't. So, yes, we had an injury, but it's not just an injury. It's like fucking arguably the most important position in our back line. And without Saliba there, Holding led the fucking league in touches after Saliba's injury. That's not a good thing. That's because defense is like, go, beat us, Rob. You're going to carry the ball? Do it. Or you're going to break lines with your passes. Please, we dare you to. And he stinks. Now, if that's Saliba back there, that's much different.
Also,
go ahead.
He said in the run-in, City had no injuries. Didn't De Bruyne miss games? Ake miss games?
That's the thing is that he never did, though. De Bruyne.
KDB didn't miss a single Prem game down the stretch?
Unless he benched him.
I mean, what's the difference?
When we didn't have the choice to bench Saliba. We couldn't bench Saga. We didn't have we couldn't bench Saga. We literally couldn't bench him.
Bro, when you're bringing fucking Mahrez off the bench and we're bringing off Rob Holding, there's a difference in quality there, Deion. So your argument is in bad faith because you're saying that one injury means the same.
And you're all arguing in bad faith because you somehow saying that them bringing on Mahrez and y'all bringing on Kai Havertz is not the same thing.
Let me explain this to you. Actually, Charles, let me throw this out to you just very quickly, just to compare situations. Not the players, the situations. Sadio Mane, right? Coached by Klopp. That was the best we've seen him. In fact, probably could have been like top 5 for Ballon d'Or 2 years ago when they were competing for all 4.
Okay.
When he goes to Bayern and they're going through all their bullshit, okay? The coaching has changed. The culture has changed. Everything is completely changed, all right?
Okay. He was hurt for most of the season, but okay.
Let's be respectful, okay? Havertz and them, you have to put respect on it because this is what happens. Anytime you win a Champions League and you're on the starting 11 in the Champions League, if you score a winning goal in the Champions League, that player, I know you guys have to see it as goals and assists, but you are contributing. That dude is contributing. And under Tuchel is way different than being under fucking Frank Lampard.
That game has
Graham Potter won how many games in the Prem?
Hold on a second, Charles.
Can I finish?
Who was Bayern's manager this year?
That's not until late. That's my point. And then Sadio wasn't the same.
What they do?
There is a vast difference between Jurgen Klopp and Thomas Tuchel. I'm sorry, there is.
Well, you just said that you score a winning goal under Tuchel, you're this, you're that, and then he goes to Bayern. What does Tuchel do at Bayern?
And there is a vast difference between Tuchel, Graham Potter, and Frank Lampard. There is. If you guys don't see that, then I don't know what to say.
Tuchel won the league last year. That's the difference.
Tuchel won what? Germany?
You're talking about all this shit all this bullshit they still won the league.
Yeah, that's my point though. Sadio wasn't himself. He also, in terms of different coaching, you have to adapt. Havertz, y'all are just automatically putting him in a box. Remember what Granit Xhaka was 2 years ago. Granit Xhaka was one of the best midfielders in the Prem this year. He was.
Hold on, let me ask you one serious soccer question before I bounce, because I got 2 minutes. To me, and I could be wrong, to me, Havertz strikes me as like a João Felix type of player. He's not a true nine. He's not a striker. You know what I'm saying? But there are ways in which, if you use Felix properly, he has the right players around him, that you can get the best out of him. But he has to be in the right environment. In a best case scenario, do you think that Havertz can be in a situation like that?
When have we seen João Felix in that environment, though?
Yeah, no, that's the whole point.
when he plays with Portugal,
he don't be Atletico. He won. This man just won. I swear he won a La Liga 2 years ago.
Boy, this is why y'all are easy. Y'all are easy.
No, it's just wild. You need to. Like, can you just wait?
He started like he didn't start half the games for Atletico in that season, bro. He was like that was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, the same thing with Grealish. The same thing with Grealish 2 years ago. He's still
no one's talking about Grealish like, yo, he could fit in this,
but
he just had to be in the perfect environment. And then when we say, has he been in that? And you say, yeah, when he didn't fucking play. Yeah. So
like, no. I said a better environment than what he was.
Chelsea was environment is on the bench.
Chelsea's environment compared to Atletico's. Chelsea's environment compared to
Atletico's. I think Havertz looked like a bum. My faith is not in him. My faith is in Arteta.
He wasn't a bum 2 years ago.
Okay, so let's shift over to Arteta. In what world has Arteta shown anything to where it's like you should have such blind faith? Faith, sure. Blind faith to take a player that stinks and make him what you think he should be.
Everybody thought we overpaid for Ben White. He has proven to be one of the best fullbacks in right back.
Y'all keep saying one of the best for every like. Come on, bro.
Oh yeah. Don't worry, Charles. I have another question. Actually,
we're not. It is not go by somebody else's. Go by a publication.
I mean, Zinchenko.
Did that not bomb down the stretch? Exactly what Clark said would happen.
Yeah, they fucking passed the ball through his legs against Liverpool, and he gave up the goal. But come on, we're not gonna act like Zinchenko didn't play. And then you keep saying one of the best. We finished second. It wasn't like I'm saying we had one of the best rosters and we.
Why are we still talking about last year? I want to talk about. Yeah, well, I'm just trying to figure out how your coach keeps his job when you finish third this year.
If he wins a trophy,
all right,
oh my gosh, Charles,
who's surpassing us? Manchester United, they're worse. Wow.
This is a joke.
I will put my. We will sit here in May. I will be in Europe in May. And we will talk about how Arsenal did not finish second. I put everything in my soccer-loving body. Y'all will not finish above higher than you did this year.
All right, I got to go. I will be there with you in Europe, and I can't wait to pour a glass of sangria over your head in celebration when we fucking raise the Carabao Cup. You know what I'm saying? Deion, stop brushing your hair backwards. I don't know what you're going through, but it seems like a lot. All right, y'all.
You said Xhaka was one of the 5 best midfielders in the Prem last year. Who are the other 4?
Xhaka at one point was one of the 5 best.
Who are the other 4?
Rodri, De Bruyne.
Partey?
No, I think Martin Odegaard was a better midfielder than Partey this year.
Gundo?
Jacob, go ahead and run the clip from, I believe it was November or December, where ML talks about how Arsenal can't win without Partey on the pitch.
That's true. There was a length of time, and like literally we have the stats where our form and our results dipped when he wasn't on the field, and he got worse. And he got worse. He wasn't himself.
So De Bruyne, Rodri,
Odegaard,
Gundo.
Yeah, I'm like, for real, fellas. Liverpool not impressive this year.
Gundo than Xhaka?
I think Xhaka was better than homeboy with homeboy Newcastle. I don't want to mess up the pronunciation.
Is 4-5 Gundo than Xhaka?
Excuse me?
Is 4?
Yeah, I think Xhaka was a top 5 midfielder in the Prem this year.
Is Gundo 4? Probably.
I think City has 3. We had 2. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel comfortable saying that. And Declan, and this is why I'm going to say that, because you cannot put him up there in terms of form. Class is different than form. Okay. And his form in the Prem, because of the way West Ham plays, they were literally trying to grind out points for survival.
I'm not worried about Declan. He's English. I don't want to get in trouble for speaking negatively on them. I know their feelings get hurt whenever bad stuff are said about their players. Jacques is top 5.
He had a top 5 season, top 5 midfield.
Jacques is top 5. Jacques is top 5. You now have to replace Xhaka in order to get better, which you and X just said you already are. How far down the list is fucking Kai Havertz, who's going to play Xhaka's spot?
Not sure because he didn't play midfield last year.
Okay.
But I think we're also better because we haven't even talked about Jury and Timber as well from Ajax. So we're better than where we were.
Oh, you want to talk about Ajax fullbacks? Cool. I got to live. You want to talk about them? Got one on right now, baby. That ain't gonna go well.
What's crazy?
Who's he a property of right now?
I truly believe this. I'm not bullshitting. Timber was the best signing Arsenal made all summer. I don't think it's particularly close.
I think
don't forget to clip that, Jacob.
I think Arsenal can be better and still finish 3rd. I think Arsenal can be better and still finish 4th.
Yeah, I really don't see how I really don't see how they got better personally. I mean, I think it's also far more likely that Timber and Declan play the double pivot than it is Partey. Like Partey's out of there. But I mean, whatever dreamland X wants to live in where Partey's still on the roster. But
I think it's 50.
I don't know. I don't see how you could say they got better. But the only way you could convince me you think they got better is you're expecting some leak from like Saga or Martinelli or Odegaard, which sure, like it's possible, but that we're living in a hypothetical world at that point. The reality is you replace Granit Xhaka with fucking Kai Havertz.
But also for the moment, we have Declan Rice and Kai Havertz to replace Xhaka right now. So 2 for 1. For the moment.
Yeah, it doesn't.
We could be talking in 2 weeks in a different conversation, but as of right now, I think today Partey and Arteta are meeting because they've told them that they're not selling them for less than 30, if I'm pretty sure that's the case. We got $21 million for Granit Xhaka and he's over 30. So
yeah, 25.
Yeah.
21. That's what I'm saying. 21 point.
A lot of this doesn't matter is the big Norwegian stays upright.
For the Prem, sure.
Talk about all that. Talk about the blue in the face.
I mean, they're not going to be ready for Champions.
Like the FA Cup, then if Julian Alvarez stays upright, then
what's the FA? What is their FA Cup roster? And like, to be fair, the guy you should be most concerned about is Saga. Like he stunk down the stretch. And he didn't really have to do. He didn't have to do much for about 2 months there because he played 3 games in the World Cup, maybe 4, because it's not like England did much over there. And they provided no fucking protection for him still. I mean, I guess it's Kai Havertz stinks.
It's still early. They have said that we need to still get an attacker. It's still early in the transfer.
I understand it's still early. I'm not the one up here doing a tap dance and show for talking about they got better when there's still glaring flaws, while also saying you just replaced the top 5 midfielder with a guy who didn't fucking play midfield.
Right now we have the second best roster in the Prem. I feel comfortable saying that. But there is a huge gap right now still. So where we have 2 of the 10 best wingers in the world, clearly. I mean, so if we want to go,
I don't know how you could say that.
2 of the 10 best.
Saga, boy, out there putting up Phil Foden number.
Phil Foden wishes that he was Bukayo Saka, right?
Does he?
Yeah.
Hey, numbers ain't that far off.
But they off.
Not really. One got a treble.
Hey, listen. Numbers. But here we go. Now it's okay. We talk about players or we talk about teams?
I'm saying if you told me I can score 10 goals and win in trouble versus I can score 14 and win not shit, I mean,
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, but you and I have those
that ain't
discussions.
that big of a difference.
We've had those discussions before. To be
They both scored less than Sonny.
I'm not defending the Jordan Poole like, oh, it was a good season. I had overthrown. Like, I ain't that by any stretch of the means.
What I'm saying is if Phil Foden got the freelance on Arsenal, he would score fucking 14 goals also.
Man,
Ain't that hard.
As you know, I'm a big Phil Foden fan. So
He stinks.
y'all are ridiculous. Let's carry on with the show. Y'all are just wild. You just get defended him, then you said he stinks.
I didn't defend him.
All right.
I just said I'm not calling nobody top 10 winger in the world when they're putting up Phil Foden.
Liverpool, City, obviously we think of Guardiola. What are your thoughts there, Charles, in terms of City's business thus far?
I mean, all they really did was bring. They get Gvardiol. I mean, yeah, they get Gvardiol. I feel like that's like when it comes down to that Declan stuff. They're like, yo, we got 100. Which way we going? I think that's kind of what it came down to a lot with that Declan stuff. Like we're gonna get one of the two. We're gonna get one of the two. You know what I'm saying? One of the two. So I think if they get him, like I think they're gonna win again.
I'm not just talking the Premier.
They're not winning Champions League back to back. I'm not worried. Like I don't think that's gonna happen. I think I wouldn't call it hunger for more, but the disease of more, or anything of that. I just think like Gundo like leaving, Bernardo, whatever happens with Bernardo, I can just, slowly but surely, like they're not entering a new phase, but they're gonna have to start transitioning a little bit. They're gonna like Cole needs to come along. Some of those what's the other young boy, 82, the floppy haired mixed kid, he needs to come along. So I think they'll step up a little bit. Yeah, Rico, there we go.
Lewis.
Yeah. But I mean, at the same time, like I think the real thing he's gonna have to do next year, I think if he doesn't, he's gonna have a real problem on his hands. He's gonna have to figure out how to play Alvarez and Holland together. If he can figure that out, I don't think anything like you guys can do will really matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just focused on the City. Liverpool, Deion, I think you all agree with this, and nobody's arguing that. McAllister has joined, I think it's 60 in total, 45, 35 in being the base, 45, but in terms of the add-ons from McAllister to Liverpool. And then they've improved their midfield. Very, very much so. What are your thoughts about Liverpool thus far, Deion?
I think they're more talented than Arsenal.
I second that.
And they've had the best offseason. Listen, I ain't gonna lie. Like when you look at the transfer windows, and no one gives Tottenham more shit than Charles and I, because we're very realistic when it comes to fandom. Liverpool and Tottenham, I think, have had the best of the big six, like pretty clearly in terms of like the players they're bringing in are clear upgrades over what they previously had, and the deals that they're like signing these guys to they're reasonable. But yeah, Liverpool's been phenomenal. Apparently, they tossed a 200 mil offer at PSG today for Mbappe, so I don't think they're done yet.
We shall see.
I think. I mean, we sat here all year last year and just talked about how their midfield was awful. Like they're attacking five. They got five. They're playing five players, 3 spots. Like if you can get the ball to them, they're gonna do what they do. So, like I know we'll get to predictions later, but like I think they're the second best team in the Prem.
What do you think? They need to do some work on. I think they still need to work on the defense. VVD is not the VVD of 2 years ago.
Yeah,
you stretch of the means.
They definitely need somebody to rotate. I think he'd be fine if Konate could stay healthy, would be great as well. But they definitely need. If they're going to start moving Trent into the midfield, they need some cover for him and some a center back as well.
I'm not concerned about them scoring goals. In fact, I have a very and Klopp is a fantastic coach. They gave up, I think, pretty sure in the last. I think it was definitely the most goals under his tenure last season, and it was by a great deal. They're just not as good in the back right now. In my opinion. So I would say we definitely have an edge in the back currently right now. Forwards, I think that they're better. And in the midfield, kind of depends on where everything shakes out. But I would rather take our defense, and I think they're better manager. It's very easy to say. Better forwards. I would say definitely they check the box on, but we definitely have a better backfield.
You got 2 top 10 wingers in the world, but you don't got better forwards than Liverpool.
I think because they have one of the best in Mohamed. I would rate Lucas Diaz big time, but once again, that was based upon this past year's performance. Diaz was hurt. I like Cody Gakpo. He's great. I think he's exactly what United needed. I can't believe they didn't spend the money for it, and it's going to come back to haunt them because I think that right now United is not going to make the top 4 next year. Liverpool they are much better than they were come May. But they still have a lot of work to do, in my opinion. And also depends on how much they value Europa. Klopp talks about like he values all the competitions, but we'll see. We'll see.
And I think VVD is gonna be fine because they're gonna, he's not the VVD of old, but he looked bad because they never had the ball, and he had to play a million competitions when you throw in Champions League and stuff. So he gets an extra day off with Europa. Really only has to worry about Saturdays, and they're gonna have the ball a lot more with McAllister. So his life got a ton easier this summer.
Sundays for them. That's but we'll see. I agree. If the VVD will be, that's where I'm going to, I guess, a little bit is they still need cover for him because right now anybody that they throw in defense, like they're gonna give up a goal for sure. Like Liverpool can be had right now. That's all I'm saying. More so than they ever have been.
I don't think anyone in the Prem can't have goals scored on them right now. I don't think there's like a defense out there in that league that's that daunting.
Let's get over to Paris. Lucho has landed in Paris. Congrats to one of the Barcelona legends, not only on the field as a player, but also as a manager. Fantastic news for them. I'm glad the PSG was able to get that over the line. Good to have Lucho back on the sidelines as well. He's one of the better managers in my opinion, in terms of modern football. Mbappe saga continues though. Deion, as you just reported, 200 mil has been given from FSG over to, in terms of a potential offer for PSG. I'm sure Nike is also helping in terms of some of those numbers as well. 3 weeks ago, we thought that Mbappe would not be on PSG come the start of the campaign. And we thought he would be a Madrid player. PSG, do you think they would sell him to Liverpool if the money's right?
If he doesn't re-sign, I think he's gonna get sold. Like that's what they've said the deal is, and it makes sense to me. Or like a month away from the season, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
So he's probably got like 2 weeks to figure his part out, and then we'll see. I think it's gonna be one of those things where he seems like a really immature kid. Probably gonna be one of those things where he just doesn't tell PSG what he wants to do, and they find out that he's okay with the transfer because he agrees to terms with Liverpool or Madrid type of deal.
His mom or dad, somebody flying up there to go handle business.
Yeah.
Charles, you think it for sure, Charles, you agree? He's no way he's with PSG come.
I mean, the moves that they're going to try to pull, they already pulled, which is throw a bunch of money at you to get you to re-sign. So, like, what they going to do? Give him $200 million straight up as a signing bonus this time? Like, I don't understand. Like, what's the? I don't know. I think. I mean, it's a fucking dick swinging contest at this point.
But with whom though? It's between the player and the club.
Because I think what happens like next week when he shows up the preseason, and he's just like, I mean, there's a chance he could go full Jimmy Butler. But I also think too, I think a lot of this has to do with, we all know Lucho ain't for the shit. So I think, it's not going to drag out. I think it's either going to get done relatively quickly because I just don't think Lucho wouldn't have took that job under the pretense that he was going to be there or whatever it is. Like he has like a clear idea of what's going to happen. So, I mean, I don't think it's going to make much difference in PSG season. They're going to win the French league and make it to the final 8.
If he's not,
they're going to do that with. I'm saying they were going to do that with or without him. They're going to win the French league. I'm not doubting them winning the French league.
They don't have
They win
him.
the French league. They're in pot one. They're going to win they have enough talent in the coaching to win the French league,
Yes.
and they're in pot one, so they can make it to the knockout stages, and they can win a round in the like. What do you?
If they don't have Mbappe, I don't see them getting out of round of 16.
Is Neymar still on the team?
But is Neymar going to be healthy?
Then yeah, they'll be fine. And Neymar or
They
Mbappe.
still got they got Verratti, they got Verratti, they out there with just nobody now. Like oh my bad, he in a Barca. I mean, he's not a Madrid player anymore, so you don't believe in Marcos Asensio. Okay.
No. Let's relax. Let's relax. I like Marcos Asensio. I think it's a great signing for him. He ain't Kylian Mbappe. And he definitely.
No, I'm not. But once again,
the goat is left.
First off, they'll have that means they'll have 11 players actually playing, actually tracking back, playing like crazy. They're just by getting rid of those people, they're going to gain 3 people on the field. So, is it possible? Is it possible?
Wild.
They
I love
also
that man. I love Messi. We're going to track him back.
he did not care like when he played for PSG. Mbappe doesn't care. I'm not even sure Neymar was actually hurt. I'm gonna be honest, that's my hot take. I don't think he was really hurt. That's how little those 3 cared about playing for that team. And you don't need to win the French league. You don't need that much talent going against them, Balogun in them. Like, he ain't worried about that. Like, and then if, like Charles said, if you're in pot one, like you don't need much. You don't need much to do what Charles and I are saying they're going to do. We're not saying that they're going to go beat City.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I do not think they get out of round of 16 if they don't.
Who'd they draw this year in the round of 16?
I have to go back and check, but you just never know. Like Liverpool and Madrid had to play each other in the round of 16. Like,
Sure.
That's what I'm saying. You never know. So they could be playing fucking
Barca.
If they get fucking, Tottenham and Arsenal was around a 16 matchup. They would have beat either one of them. Do it again this year. I mean, obviously one of those teams ain't in it.
Not to mention, are we just glossing over the part that like they have like the second, third best manager in the world on their coaching them now?
That's a lot.
They signed somebody like not long ago. That's pretty good too. I can't remember the name.
They got the dude from Inter as well.
Theo's leaving though too. Hernandez.
Isn't he
Got
going?
him.
No, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Like he's coming.
Yeah.
They got him, Asensio.
They just need
Asensio.
God, Mbappe.
They got Verratti.
And if you sell Mbappe for 200 M's, like
that's the thing. They got to do their business quickly before players are gone, though.
And they're going to get Bruno. If they
understand
make that sell, they're going to get Bruno. They're going to pay the 90 for Bruno.
To Newcastle? Or are you talking about Fernandez?
Bernardo. I always say Bernardo.
Silva.
Bernardo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bernardo Guimaraes. That's what I was wondering. Okay. All right, Bernardo. Yeah. That's a different discussion once they have that. But what they are right now, still don't love them out of the round of 16. But matchups is matchups make fights.
But what they are right now, they have Mbappe.
Sure.
And Neymar.
Like
and they still have Neymar.
But without Messi, I mean, they won the French league by 3 points last year. They had to win on the last day, if I'm not mistaken.
And I just don't see a world. I think this is like this might be Neymar's like last good season. But I do think Lucho is going to be able to get something like out of him that nobody else could.
They've also gone down, if I'm not mistaken, by the UEFA power rankings.
7.
They're number 7, I think, right now in the French
6 or 7, yeah.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
The Farmers League.
I saw the Belgians just passed them. That's crazy.
Yeah, Farmers League.
Where's the Prem on that?
What do you think they are? It's the best league in the world.
I don't care about that rankings then.
Spanish are 4th.
It's got the Italian league. They got Italian at 2nd. That's why I was like, yeah.
And then the Bundesliga is 3rd.
Anything could happen in England. They'd be
garbage.
Y'all are wild. Give us a Caden Spurs update. What's the latest y'all hearing about your boy?
I think he's staying.
Hold on. Let me bring back future champion. He's back.
But we're about to hear about how Declan just
look at him, the stupid ass look on his
face. Welcome back, good sir. Future champion, as I
said. X, while you were gone, ML explained to us how you replaced a top 5 midfielder with a guy who hasn't played midfield but got better.
No, he played midfield at Leverkusen, but let's chill.
No, my bad.
Before he was sold. But then also we're talking about a UCL champion. No, what I explained in X, this is my list. I think these were the 5 best midfielders in terms of the form this year. Not in order, but I mean for me, Rodri, KDB. I have Mario, obviously. And Granite played top 5 to me, in my opinion, this year in terms of production by far. And who was my 5th? Deion?
Was it Gundo?
Yeah.
Should be.
Because Gundo wasn't, I mean, Gundo wasn't around.
I mean, he was the best midfielder on City last year.
The run-in Gundo and run-in Pep are different, but Gundo was not in that great of form because he still was trying to get in shape in September through November. So, and he had a poor World Cup.
Did we talk about the best?
Hold on, hold.
winners?
One second,
in the world?
X. 1 second, X. I ain't trying to hear about poor World Cup from the fucking dude whose team's starting about 7 English players. I ain't trying to hear that.
Makayo had a great World Cup, brother.
Did he?
Yes.
Did he?
I still stand with that. Yes.
Did he?
And guess what else he did? He had a great Nations League too. In March.
Yeah, no, listen, he was phenomenal in that March game against like Poland's U21 team. Declan stunk in the World Cup.
How'd Declan do in May? April and May.
Here we go. I mean, I said I'm not trying to hear about the World Cup shit from the guy whose team's starting all them English players. I don't even know what, outside of the fucking Iran game, I don't even know what Saga did. Hamdulillah, you know what I mean?
Y'all chilling. X, welcome back, brother. We just got finished talking about Mbappe and FSG and their plans. And Lucho obviously is back. And now we're on Kane and Spurs update. We're trying to get a Kane and Spurs update from the Tottenham boys.
He's going to stay. I actually think like the team, the new manager with the dudes that they brought in, like I think the team's going to be pretty decent this year. Especially, I mean, at least in comparison.
I believe in
One game a week though now, right?
Well, 1 game a week. I believe in Ange, like Charles said. You know, the whole like we're gonna play through the back. We got a goalie who's like can kick, but he's Italian, so we want him to be Brazilian. I don't know how I feel about that. But I mean, James Madison's gonna make Kane's life so much easier. He doesn't have to go get the ball the fucking halfway mark anymore to score. So I think just bringing James Madison in is going to revitalize this team. Plus the style of play. High pressure, that's going to fit Sonny. I think that's going to fit Richarlison. I don't know about Kulusevski so much, but
yeah, I may not be
playing talent up front at this point on this team now.
Not against Charles. You think he stays?
I mean, yeah, they're not going to Mbappe him. They're not going to Mbappe him.
You don't think Bayern would?
No, I'm saying like Tottenham's not going to tell him like sign or leave. Like the way that the what's called the dude from PSG was talking about, like we can't lose the best player on free.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think Tottenham's not taking that stance there. Levy apparently doesn't like money, so yeah, I think he stays.
Also, like, and obviously, if you just want to switch leagues, right? Like, let's say he just wanted to go to Bundesliga and just not give a shit. I get it. I mean, you could say what you want about form this, form that. Minus City, I don't think anyone has a better like front than us. Maybe Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool. But it's those two.
Sonny needs to get back in form.
Oh, so he needs to get back in form? He just had a down year. That was Saka's career year.
I'm just saying.
Greatest winger in the world. Put up best numbers of his life. It was Sonny's bad year.
I just want to see Sonny to get back in the
I mean, what are we talking about?
He's 20 years old.
What are we talking about? Like
old.
That's exactly why I think we have one of the best fronts in the Prem, because it's like
if Jordan Poole averages more points on the Wizards than Steph Curry does, can you point to that stupid ass stat and say he had a better year? No, exactly. So y'all need fucking
the Warriors won the championship that year.
They're the only two that can put the ball in the back of the fucking net. Because I'll tell you who's not going to do it. Richarlison, he's not going to do it. But we have balance. We have
Do
like
you?
5 guys who scored
Do
double-digit
you?
goals. We do.
Hold on.
How many
Y'all
guys
really
do we have
you
that
think
scored
we,
more than you guys?
you
Like
think
that's what I'm saying. Like
let's talk about this. Kane,
Come on.
Sonny, Gabby Jesus.
Richarlison.
Let's just say Kane, Sonny. I'm just gonna say Kane's number one. Bukayo's number 2 on that
Yeah.
list.
I don't think Bukayo's better
No.
than Sonny.
ESPN disagrees.
I mean, congrats. That's who I would want backing me up is ESPN
So
FC.
you have the first 2. You have the first 2. We have the next 4.
But I don't even think. I mean, listen, Saga was way better than Kulusevski last
First off,
year.
we can tell you right now, Richarlison's better than Gabby Jesus.
Get the
Even
fuck
Brazil-
out of here, nigga.
Brazil agrees.
That's
Even
Brazil's problem. That's Brazil's
Brazil
problem.
agrees.
That's Brazil's
Yo,
problem.
man.
That's Brazil's problem. Carlo was on the way. There's a reason why
His
my
own people
manager-
don't believe in him.
Bro, 60% of fucking Kim's goal came in
Listen
15
up, bro.
minutes
Oh
when
my
he came
God.
on as a
That's the
fucking sub.
issue.
Get the fuck out of here.
Richarlison-
There are 3 Brazilians in this conversation. 2 of them don't play for the national team. Only one of them does.
They both.
Martinelli,
You're tripping. That's part of their
Jesus
problem.
and Martinelli were
That's why they lose to Croatia.
roster.
That's probably
What's,
why they lose to Croatia. You got to play Richarlison.
While we're on the
Let's go.
topic of teams that have problems, what's England's problem?
They
Is it
lost.
Saga?
The coach.
Is it Declan?
We know it's Southgate. Everybody
And
knows
Jordan
it's Southgate.
Henderson.
Jordan
Everybody
Henderson
knows
was
it's
their best
Southgate.
midfielder.
Everybody knows it's Southgate. It's ridiculous. No way that Jordan Henderson should ever be playing in front of Declan Rice. Like
I
Klopp.
mean, you guys had the best midfielder in the world, apparently.
Oh, so now okay. Let's talk about the rankings while y'all back. Go ahead. Go ahead. Why don't you get your stuff off, Charles?
Yo, and aren't
Pause.
you a prick, Deion? I could
Huh?
have swore you was rocking an England home kit alongside with me during the World Cup.
I had
Now
to
all of a
hear
sudden
you.
it's they and not us,
That's
You're a
how I
traitor.
know them dudes stink.
bro.
That's the
Harry's
thing.
penalties.
I'm
No
open.
still going.
loyalty.
I'm open.
No
Hey,
loyalty.
listen, when my
They don't
players
stink.
stink, I'll be the first one to say it. I ain't y'all. If
Deion-
Saga was
Motherfucker
on
gave up his
Tottenham, I'll tell you he
fandom
stink.
for
Deion, we're the
fucking
first ones to
bootleg
tell you that
scarf.
we lost the Prem because we had to play Rob Holding. We're not all good. Not every Arsenal player is good.
You lost the Prem because the big Nigerian started playing like he was English down the stretch.
Nigerian, Norwegian,
That's why you lost the damn Prem. No, I'm talking about
No,
Saka's Nigerian ass.
but he ain't big. Pause. Pause. That's wild, by the way. That was wild. That was wild. Charles, what is your biggest issue that you had with the ESPN FC rankings? We know you average 5 to 6.
The positions really. What's the difference? Like the strikers, forwards, and wingers.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Like they're, yeah, that was my biggest issue. And then like putting the fact that Jude's in the list is its own other thing, but like trying to put Jude and Rodri in the same like midfielder list is kind of like dumb. So like I would just more go into like classifications of players. I'm not gonna sit here and argue. Like it's certain things like Jude being number 1 is just not right. It's not correct information. It's just like he's a good player. He's got potential. But like even like Pedri being 3rd, like Pedri didn't even play half the season. Like, and that's my guy, but like he didn't even play most of the season. Like I'm looking at Casemiro being like 8th on that list. Like what are we talking about here? Like even Joshua Kimmich is like 8th on one of those lists, and it's like he was the best. He was the best midfielder in the Bundesliga last year. He has been for like the last 5 years. And Jude's ranked number 1. Like I'm not gonna trip off of that. And we had what did I say? They have Saka as the best winger, but him and Mo Salah play the same position. But Mo Salah is like number 2, or it's just like the wingers and like it was just all mixed up, and it's like they all play the same position.
2 through 4 on the forward list should be 1 through 3 on the winger list.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That's the problem.
I'm not defending it. I wanted y'all to shit on a little bit because I didn't love the list.
Leao's a winger. And Nkunku's a midfielder. Neymar's a midfielder. These are the top forwards.
Make sure you click on the right one. They didn't have Neymar as a midfielder.
No, they had him as a forward.
Yeah.
I'm saying he should be back there.
Hmm.
Or on the winger list. He's not forward.
Mm-hmm.
McGree's
that's more my problem.
I think I told you right away, I thought they very much undervalued Big Ron. Pause.
Well, Rashford's a winger.
Yeah.
Their literal problem is like they're trying to get a striker so he could play on the wing.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the dude they signed in January?
Weghorst.
Yeah, they
Weghorst.
literally signed a striker to move him to winger, and ESPN said you're a striker. And y'all are sitting up here talking about ESPN agrees.
No, we're asking you a question. We good.
Like Gabby Jesus ain't on this?
Is Richarlison on there?
Missed most of the season.
Where the hell is Harry Kane?
Under strikers.
Where's that list? I don't see that one.
Strikers is under there.
Oh, did y'all not post that list?
No, we. Oh yeah, my fault.
Mbappe's not a striker?
Yeah, that was.
The hell is he then?
That was wild.
Yeah.
Put him back forward. That was wild. That's why we didn't understand. We like, what is the difference?
Griezmann's not a striker?
Well, I do not. He's not in their system. But
what is he then?
I would classify him more in the forward. But Griezmann will track back though. Respect. AG7.
Harry Kane tracks back.
I agree. That's what you watch. Exactly. I agree.
This list.
I just don't understand how Mbappe is not a forward. I mean, not a striker.
Yeah, that's crazy. Send the striker list again in the group chat. Also, my dog Double K is easily the best winger on this list.
I have him at number 2.
Yeah, I mean, he should be one. And that's just based on the template.
I can't even disagree because y'all know my love for whatever his name is.
Let's just call him Double K.
Fire.
2K.
He's fire.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Pause.
This list stinks. Lewandowski's fit.
We didn't love it. We should, you know what? But you know what? Could be a good exercise for us. We will maybe something that the Kicking with the Brothers pod can do.
That list stinks.
Not great.
That was y'all's backup for Saga being the best winger in the world.
We were talking. We were talking. That was us being funny because we.
No, but there's a wide gap between best winger in the world, which I disagree he's not, and he stinks, which is asinine. He's very
Jesus good. Was number 6 striker on the list, by the way.
He is not what people think he is. He might be one day, right? Like he's young, right? 23, 24.
21.
Can I just say
21? And how old is he?
KK or
Saga?
I think he just turned 21.
Okay, yeah. And listen, the way I seen England playing the U21 Euros, I'm surprised he's not out there. They got everybody.
Is it possible that maybe he can get better? I didn't say he couldn't. Get him out of here, take him behind the barn, take him out of here.
I didn't say to do that. I said nothing of that. I said I'm not going to come up here and say he's better than Sonny. That's ludicrous. That's ludicrous.
He is right now.
Deion, did you see Arsenal's number 10 playing for the U21s on England?
Relax. Is your boy even? How's your man? Your number 10 was hurt this year too. Please respect.
All my guys are on vacation. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about this during this year. Like Friday himself. ESR, he wasn't even healthy. They're trying to get him back.
You mean Barcelona's second?
You do know that he was asked to be on the national team when he was 17, right? ESR.
That's cool. And he's still playing the same players, apparently.
He went backwards because he got hurt.
That's that Arteta touch.
Yo, wow.
When he was 17, he had no Arteta. He was on the big squad.
Apples and oranges, dog. ESR, pretty sure ESR was on the Euros. That was his first time he got the call up, but then he was on the Euros 2 years ago. You can't register.
That's cool, man. I know the difference.
I don't need to go.
They told Balogun, hey man, you playing the U21 team, bro. We ain't got nothing for you on the
Can we defend ESPN on the strikers though?
Hey, they did tell Balogun, yo, it's gonna take a little while. We got a couple strikers in front of you. You say, you know what? I'm American.
We got 3. I think they got the strikers list right. Actually, 1 through 5.
As long as you add Mbappe to that strikers list, I just think obviously.
But for what it was.
Yeah,
for what it was.
This is based off last year.
Yeah. They're saying that.
I don't know if I necessarily think Benzema was better than Harry Kane last year, but I wouldn't be mad at that being in any order. Like, I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like, yeah, you know what I mean? That's like whatever. I mean, Gabby Jesus missed like half the year. He was at 6.
That's how good he was, Deion, but he's not tracking how good of a year he had. The boy was
Let's
crazy.
go see. Let me run some numbers. Because I just looked up Saka's.
Look how good he was
every
through.
time
Look
I
how
go.
good he was through November, bro. September to November, Gabby was crazy good.
Well, when I brought up September to November Partey, I was told it don't matter.
No, it does matter. That's part of the
Final
problem.
15.
That's part of the problem when he played.
Final 15.
Not final 10. But
Final 15. Jorginho was better.
he was the last.
I remember final 10. I had
y'all,
to hear about
boy, hey, y'all the same people that be talking about Chris Paul regular season stats.
Well, we ain't doing that.
That's
with
the
Deion
point
today.
God.
No, sir. We're not doing that with
I was waiting to see if Deion was going to start.
Point God.
Nasty,
That on
Charles.
cue.
Oh my
Point
gosh.
God.
What y'all on, man?
Your
Look,
point
man
God.
is so nasty. Nah,
Point God.
your boy Deion.
Point God.
Everybody, friend. You a slut, Deion.
He's a good leader.
I
Locker room guy.
I've never
Locker
seen
room guy.
with a Deion. Let me chill.
He's
Nah.
point God. Now I'm trying to find
Wait
the
till you see
Gabby
football
Jesus
season.
numbers.
Wait till you see football season. The way Deion talks about Lamar, the way he talks about Chris Paul, like there are like 3 or 4 athletes. The way, you know what, Deion is actually has probably more derogatory remarks in our group chat and those separate pods for Chris Paul than he has against Russell. He always called out Chris Paul all the time.
That's because Russell. If I talk about Russell Westbrook, that's bullying. At least Chris Paul's been competitive. He's been around. He's done things.
You see, X. I can't wait for next break to pick.
We went to war with CP3. Russell Westbrook was a handgun. You know what I mean?
Went to war
I go
with
after
CP3.
I go after bazookas.
In 2014,
I go after bazookas.
CP3 or the Rocket CP3 before he hurt himself.
I don't care what he hurt.
It's nasty. It's so nasty.
Gabby Jesus only had 11 goals.
Nasty. You were so nasty.
Yeah,
you were so nasty. Goals and assists. What were his goals and assists, brother? What was his goals and assists?
He out there putting up Sonny stats.
And
I heard Sonny had a bad year.
And half the time, brother. Not even less than half. Less than half. Sorry, bro.
It's not like Sonny didn't miss games. He wasn't hurt. He didn't break his nose. He didn't have to play with the mask for months. I forgot. My bad. Arsenal players, the only ones that ever get injured.
Let them tell it.
I love y'all. Y'all are hilarious. Last thing we got on the schedule here, Barca boys. Y'all got some young recruits. Y'all coming up again, growing up. Give us a little bit of Barca report because y'all are less than 2 months away. Back in the saddle with the Champions League.
We're just doing what champions do. I mean, you don't have to add a lot of players when all your players are 12. We just put water on them and let them grow, man. Like, you know, Lamine might be our starting left winger by the end of the year. I just feel like, you know, we're getting young boys. We got young Vitor on the way. Deion doesn't believe, but the more and more I watch, I see a little sauce with him.
Did you see what I put in the group chat?
Well, yeah. Don't worry about that.
I believe now. I didn't know he had all them teams going after him. I believe now. He might have a little something.
I seen a little 3-minute package. He's kind of nice. Like I seen a little. My only worry about him is he's like 5'7" and plays striker.
He's like 17.
I don't like the 19. No, he's 18. He's 18. I just don't like I just don't like young. I mean, small number 9s. But dude's got good movement. Seems to have an eye for goal. So I mean, I'm hype about it. Like I'm excited. Like what training starts on Monday. Interested to see what Ansu does. Interested to see what as Abdi, fresh off a loan, comes back and does. Interested to see what Nico back from loan does. Hoping, not trying to see what Eric Garcia does.
Not trying to see.
No, he put up like his off-season workout video before the spot. And I was gonna sit in the group chat and threaten Carter to a fight, but just some people just do not deserve like the postseason, the off-season mixtape. Like Eric Garcia, bro, like nah, you don't need to put no Nipsey over no highlights of you doing like Bulgarian twist, bro.
No, he does, because he needs his life to be a marathon.
He's awful. But I heard we might loan him out to Betis.
I'm assuming Serginho's still on the team.
Him and Julian out the other Julian
Araujo?
Araujo.
Have you been watching the Gold Cup at all?
He doesn't even play, does he?
No, he does. He stinks. He's really bad.
I mean, we're talking about the ESPN 100. The worst position by far is right back. Fucking right backs are awful.
He is awful.
João Cancelo doesn't have a team and he ranks 5th.
Bam. That is. Can we talk about how Pep is putting the word out there? Talk about who's not back up. Whew. João Cancelo, he may just made a vacation for like 2 or 3, but where's he going? He's not reporting anywhere next Saturday.
Well, he's not good.
Yeah, he's going on loan. I still think he's gonna end up on loan at Barca. I think it's like the only place he can go unless he takes some Saudi money.
He should just do that.
What's up with Baldy? What's up with your mans?
Chilling, hanging out with Ansu. Good money,
yeah, I'm just saying, like, because y'all just signed this little young. Are y'all about to sign that young right back, right?
I mean, Baldy's left back.
I'm hit. But what's his name? Who wants to Kunde? He don't want to play.
I don't. Like I said, those are just reports. I really haven't seen him say anything about that. Like I said, I said this before. Like, he started for France in the World Cup final at right back.
I hear you,
dude. You're a right back. You just popped up in the ESPN 100 as the 5th best right back in the world. You're a right back.
Yeah, he needs to be.
Where was Camavinga?
Not left back, but he's a midfielder now.
Left back.
You see my boy? See my boy in goal? You see him? Athletic.
Thibaut Courtois.
Let my guy need to get to the combine and get his numbers up.
Who was the kid on Madrid? Oh wait, no. Who was the kid on Barca that didn't have Ter Stegen as the best goalie in the world? I saw some video about that shit.
It was Arno, but he's about to, I think they didn't renew his contract, so
that makes sense. That was disrespectful.
Oh, there's somebody who said Allison though too.
Yeah, I mean there was a couple people that chose their country.
That's why.
Like if you're Rafinha and you're like, I think Ederson or Allison are better, like that's blood ties. You know what I mean? Like y'all are sharing beaches together, you don't want to die type shit. I get that. You can worry about their Stegen when you got to report in a couple of weeks. But there was some kid, I saw the video, I'm like, bro, he just said anything. Like, what the fuck is wrong with him? He got to go.
You think y'all did get rid of him, though, while we're at it. So there it is. Any closing remarks, man? This was always fun, fellas. I'm glad we did a good job. I think y'all are, let me say this as non-biased as I can say. I think y'all are asking the right questions about Arsenal, right? And just if y'all were on the playing board of directors, y'all are asking the right questions about them. And that's all you can hope for, right?
Well, I want to say non-biased. We received the wrong answers.
For now. For now.
The only reason what really originally made me ask the questions that I was asking, if Barcelona spent $250 million and we finished and we didn't win the chip, Xavi would get fired. That's just the facts of it. That's like, and you can't name any club that we talk about in that big club thing where the team invest that much money into it. You get a worse result than you did last year, and the coach gets to keep his job. Them's the rules. But hey, man, Lucho is going to make a great manager for you guys next year.
Exciting.
You only get 1 year. You only get 1 year at PSG, baby. You only get 1 year at PSG.
Deion gave us the bounce, and just like João Cancelo, we don't know if he bouncing from holidays, my brother. CL, my man. It's good to see you, brother, in the flesh. Hair looking good, by the way.
Hit me.
Oh, no, wait. My boy's back.
Oh, my bad.
Hey,
my internet, I don't know. My internet I think they're doing some shit to like the internet in the area or something like that.
I'll make sure we get that. We'll make sure we'll get that edited or whatnot.
I was gonna say, I knew it was about to go out, but I was gonna say Xavi spent $2.5 million. I wanted him fired. Forget 22.
Listen, 2 trophies though, man, a year for Barcelona. That's like, I get it. They're just, I mean, there's tears. Like we talked about this.
But I just think like you can take success away, and I say this shit about Steve Kerr. Like you can take success I don't judge coaches based off success. Like win as much as you want. That's phenomenal. Obviously, the more you win, the longer the leash you have. I judge coaches based off shit I see. And there's certain things that, in my opinion, you need to have as a manager in order to have like a high level of success that I don't really see with Xavi or Arteta. But that doesn't mean they won't win. I mean, Xavi, they won damn La Liga this year.
I think they're so both young in their careers, though. It is. I think they're so both young in their careers. Like, think about like where Pep and like Mourinho's been fired from Chelsea twice. Just think about that. You know,
but there's a sense of stubbornness with all those guys.
Very nervous about that. I agree.
Pep is a lot different. Again, same shit I say about Kerr. Team has 4 rings, no Kerr, and obviously you can't determine who you plug in for that person. So that's why you don't fire a coach or like whatever, because the grass ain't always greener. But if you give me Spoelstra, we got 7. You know what I mean? Like there's certain things Kerr does. There's a stubbornness about him that like holds the team back. There's a stubbornness about all those guys that hold them back. That's why Mourinho's been fired from Bayern twice. It is what it is. I mean, both can be true.
Yeah, it is. Man, I like the way you put it that way. I like the way you put it that way. Let me just say this. I do not see Arteta having a Wenger run by any stretch of the means. 19, 20 years. I think that's way too much for a manager anyway. You want to keep things healthy. I mean, Zidane, for example, like, yeah, he didn't have the league success, but anytime you win 3 straight Champions Leagues, that's incredible. But even there needed to be a change of voice. And we brought him back when he needed to take a break. And right now he doesn't have a job. And I would say that he's a top 5 manager in the world. But yeah, that's a good point. This is by far, Mikel Arteta has to produce this year. And even beyond the production, he has to evolve as a manager. You do have to be able to evolve. If you ever want to be, it's not that you want to be considered on Pep's level, just talking about being in the room competing. You just have to be able to change some shit. Very big time upcoming for him. Don't play the same way against Southampton and leave yourself or like against City. Like you can't do that. And we have too many unfortunate examples of that this past year. But you just hope that he's gotten better. All right, we will holler at y'all back again when we have, in case we have any Barcelona news. Clearly can't wait. We're going to see how the next 2 weeks unfold. Once again, early in the transfer season, but business is being done. Appreciate y'all checking in and kicking in with the brothers. Don't forget to click that like button. Make sure you subscribe to Multiplicity Media. And shout out and love to our guys, Charles, Deion. We back. Football holidays are over Saturday. European players, and Copa players, they got a report come Monday, 8 a.m. at the grounds. Here we go. Y'all be easy, man.